Yo, it's your boy Henji.
What's good? It's Tweez.
We back up and running with Check Up 1-on-1. Tweez, what's happening, my guy?
Not too much. Ready to dive into the docket.
Let's get right to it. Hey man, it was All-Star Weekend. The normal skills challenge, 3-point shootout, NBA shootout. NBA dunk contest, celebrity game. Then you also got the kind of a little different rookie sophomore kind of everybody got some little teams got going on, little round robin, little tourney style going. That was kind of cool.
I liked it.
Saturday night, we had Team Pacers who won a skills challenge. We had Dame Lillard who won a 3-point shootout. Steph Curry won the challenge with him and Serena Nescu. That was something. And then we got Mac McClung,
still in the show again,
who ran it back in the anticlimactic contest.
Thank you, Jaylen Brown.
Oh, so All-Star Weekend. I'm gonna get to it first though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Saturday night, like I said, I'm an NBA All-Star Saturday night purist for what it is. I love it. I think the skills challenge, I love how it's redone up.
Okay.
This year, the various passes. It's not just the guys just coasting through the cones and doing a layup at the end and saying hooray. Nah, you're working with a team. You're trying to get the most passes through. You got to shoot the shots for the threes at the end. Then you got to shoot the half court shot. That was cool. I messed with the skills challenge. What you think, man?
Skills challenge, always been good to go. Always been interesting to see the players, the greats, compete in a different way. Not so much just tied to the score of the game and just seeing them show their skills, just like it is a skills challenge. It's an interesting thing every time.
Yeah, let me take a lot of folks that are like, I don't know the skills challenge. I mean, it's not really anything to the game. I like it. Different. I mean, like you said, these guys are NBA players. I want to see the guy who can pass the most accurate. And if you can't, I'm going to say something about you. Skills challenge, 3-point shootout. I think it's probably the best one, the most consistent one of the Saturday night. Just watching people just shoot the rock and see who can, shoot the best, get the most, go on the most streaks. 3-point shootout. I love 3-point shootout. I mean, the number this weekend was 26. I mean, everyone was getting 26. They had a shootout to get past at 26 when they had a 4-way tie after the first round. 3-point shootout. I mean, I'm a big fan of 3-point shootout.
It's fair. It's probably the most fair competition you get across the way in all the sports, right? You got the home run derby,
mm-hmm.
Right? It's kind of something similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a little bit more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit more shock value to it in the sense that look at Dame. He gets to win. He's ice cold.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting bricks. All right. He hasn't been shooting well at all. Goes into the shootout, and you got to remember, he still got one of the quickest shots in the NBA, even if you forgot. So
mm-hmm.
you get it's a showcase.
Well, know that.
It's a showcase.
Yeah, then we move on to the dunk contest. Used to be a thing. Dunk contest used to be what the kids stayed up for all night. Dunk contest used to be a thing where, it was like, we were going to watch some stuff. You're going to call your mans and them and be like, did you see him? Remember Vince? Remember T-Mac? Remember Jason Richardson?
Sheesh.
But no. What the hell is going on with the dunk contest?
Oh, we'd be grateful for Desmond Mason.
I mean, please. Brent Berry.
Something.
I mean, damn. I'll be honest. That is what needs improvement. If that gets improvement, All-Star Weekend is up.
Because I think the rookie-sophomore game, that tournament, the target score,
fun.
They turned it up, man.
Fun.
Forced us to see some competition.
Yes.
Even forced me to be excited about the G League Ignite team that I wasn't even really.
But you weren't even aware
I
of.
wasn't even thinking about them. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
remember every year that they got that team, and
Mm-hmm.
they got those guys brewing there.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of made me, oh, well, let me check it out. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, you find yourself in the rabbit hole, and you know, you're looking at Bazelis high school highlights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking at Mata, seeing what he's really about.
All right.
He has game though.
Yeah, no, he's definitely
we,
he's a little robot-y, but he got game.
yeah, we gonna get it. We gonna get into that soon. Later down the line, a little draft special. We gonna get into that one soon. But I believe that the dunk contest, if they improve that, they gotta do something. And at this point, they just got to bring in some ball is life guys, some of the YouTubers, and just come out there and dunk. YouTubers come and challenge the NBA guys, or NBA guys build a team of YouTubers. Do something, make it different.
Maybe so you mean like add like the coaching element to
right,
it?
like Jaylen Brown, because he needs some assistance dunking. He can do. They can be like a captain's round of dunking, and then there can be like 2 other rounds of your special guests dunking. Where they can like average out the scores per round type deal. I think that's, I don't know. There's something to get a new twist, because we need some new dunkers. And there are people around the world. They're all over the internet that can fly, that can dunk, that can entertain the people. Because damn, Jaylen Brown, like, the thing was, when he came out there, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was talking to you. I was like, you know what? It's a good thing. We have a star. We have an all-star, a player that can hoop, that's nice, that's coming to the dunk contest. I said yes.
And taking a risk, right?
Yeah.
But then he came out and didn't take any risks, right? He played up to the idea of being an all-star and used all this like crowd propaganda, trying to stir them up with the Michael Jackson glove, and I guess
his homeboy had the other glove.
It's weird. So there's a shot at the idea of like, what was this, like the left hand thing? Is that because he's hurt? Because people think that he can't
use his left?
I don't know. It didn't hit. It didn't land. It didn't land. Jaylen, we don't care about a left-handed dunk. Especially not in that. No, don't care. There's got to be pride returned to this, right? And I think it's got to come to the idea of like, no offense to McClung, but it's like, y'all just gonna let someone who doesn't have a contract come and take the championship? I don't know. I think it's cool on his side in terms of getting the opportunity to showcase.
And he did that. And he came and did that.
He did that in both games, in his games, and as well in the contest. But I don't know. I just remember, like before, I said Desmond Mason. Why do I remember Desmond Mason? Because, well, maybe like 65 to 85% because of the dunk contest.
It's flying.
Right? I do remember he was a solid player. But what happened to that idea or concept of that you could get a name from the dunk contest?
He was a 2-foot jumper, and that was flying.
Right? You could claim something. I think we should change up the incentive to the dunk contest. I think the idea of paying the players, great, cool. But like, as you can see, Jaylen Brown just came out and stole $55,000. And not only did he get $20,000, like that he's supposed to get, he would have got that, right? Just for being in it. You guys allowed him to get second place. He was rewarded more than the other gentleman who competed. That's crazy. It's nuts.
Bad. Yeah,
it's absurd. Bad. But anyway, what if you got like a contract guaranteed when you won the dunk contest? Do you think that would bring out at least some more effort, right? So now Jaylen Brown wouldn't care about that. But what if he got like, some big contract bonus that was guaranteed in his contract now, right? If you don't have a contract, you got a contract. Something like that. Just something to just stir the people up. Yeah, stir the people up, because that's not it. Baby Toppin was solid, but you see what happens to people like Baby Toppin.
Yeah.
Look how they treated him.
Yeah.
All right, so there's got to be a middle balance. They got to find something, like someone who has a jersey on their back, someone who plays constantly that we see, right? Give them the opportunity to show us, like kind of like Hami's chance.
Right. Yeah, this is why you have a jersey type deal. Yeah. Let's move on to Sunday's event, the All-Star game. You're making a face.
Yeah.
I think we need to change our thoughts, and maybe we won't have that face.
Talk to me, man.
Everyone is up in arms and distraught because no one's playing defense in the All-Star game. No one is competing in the All-Star game. It's an All-Star game. When it's never been a priority until the end of the game. And this game was out of reach because one team was cashews from 3 and the other team didn't play with a proper tempo, and by then it was too late. But we saw plenty of good things which made you say, wow, this is an All-Star game. These are the All-Stars of the NBA. Come on, man.
Look, I think I agree with you with a lot of what you're saying, but I can't help but understand why we're upset. It's like that movie that you saw when you were like 4 or 5 years old. And you're like, wow, I can't believe they did this, they did that. You remember it being this big epic show, this extravaganza, if you will. And then you grow up and you know the stories. You know the truth about what's going on. You know how much people are getting paid. You really understand how much people are getting paid. You understand what's on the line with the injuries. It's just a different thing. The expectations are changed. And I think that what people are upset about is that the awe is gone. Right? Even though we knew that the game wasn't going to be competitive, there is still a little bit of awe. I'm starting to think it has something to do with social media and too much access to the players. There's nothing special about seeing all these players and getting to zoom in on them in the locker room.
Okay.
We see them all the time.
All the time.
We know everything about them. We know what they were wearing. We know what they're dressing. It used to be a thing to be like, oh, what are the players going to be wearing to the All-Star game? But no, we handle that every day. They do the runway walk every day with their games. Just a lot of the awe is gone. Like, I kind of know what Luka is going to be like around those players. I don't know how I do. I just kind of know.
You've seen it before.
Don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Right. Maybe it's there. Maybe they're too mic'd up during the season. I don't know. But they're definitely, the access is gone. The all factor is gone, and that's what's missing from the All-Star game in the weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can see that. I just really think, again, you got to see the All-Star game for what it is. It's an offensive game. It is an exhibition of offensive talent. It's an exhibition of the highest talent, but they're not really, they're playing at the highest level per se. And I think if you look at it in that manner, you won't be so upset. Because I think we are, again, able to see some things that we don't normally see. We saw 2 guys on the same team hit 10 threes. And then folks are going to say, well, that's because they didn't play defense. That's cool. We saw a guy pull up from half twice. Banged it. That's cool. We saw another guy go for 50. This all happened in the same game.
I didn't like those. Still cringy. They did the 5-0 down 20. It's real cringy. Just want that to be known.
So, now everyone, like I say, I don't think there's any way for real to improve the competitiveness per se of the All-Star game. I think we're gonna have like the same endings. I mean, you gotta play. It's gonna be a slow pace for the first 43 minutes. The last 5, if the game is close enough, I think that's where you'll have the competitive game. And I think they gotta just go back to the target score like they were doing the years prior.
Like that.
Yeah, I think that just makes the game fun. It just gives guys an opportunity to just play harder. Because the score at the end, the game has to end before the clock does. You know what I'm saying? By a number, not a clock. And I think it just gives folks more of an edge to play harder. And we saw it in the last few All-Star games. So, that's just where I am there.
I think the side angle, right, is stir it what it is, right? We lost the all because everybody's so exposed and ready to, dive deep into their lives, right? All right, so why don't we just create a system. Somebody take the time to rate the players from the All-Star game. Rate their performances. Let's start something that puts, emphasis on those who actually showed out and gave us something, and then let's clown who didn't. Why not? Let's stir it up. That's what it's about, right? Let's put it in front of the people and let them tell us what's good and what's not good, and maybe have some impact on who's an All-Star next year.
Okay, I can see some of that. I can see some of that. There were a couple beefs that went on during All-Star Week, All-Star Weekend. Let's move to the first quick one there. We got Austin Rivers and J.J. Reddick. Not sure if you saw.
Yeah.
J.J. Reddick kind of went off there about Doc Rivers. And we're going to let that play right here real quick.
I've seen the trend now. I've seen the trend for years.
What's the trend?
The trend is always making excuses. Doc, we get it. Taking over a team in the middle of the season is hard. It's hard. We get it. Just like getting traded in the middle of the season is hard for a player. We get it. Mm-hmm. But it's always an excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. And then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy. Well, there's never accountability.
Austin, we appreciate you.
Actually, am I
Hello, I'm sorry, Austin. Yes, your shot is already there. Chop it or drop it.
Well, I have to chop it. First off, I don't feel responsible to take up for my dad. He's a grown man. He could do his own thing. But in this regard, I just simply don't agree with it. For someone who's not accountable, he seems to always be held responsible, considering he's the guy that's always fired when things don't go right. He got fired in the bubble for a 3-1 lead versus the Denver Nuggets, which in half his team didn't want to be there. They had players saying that their mind wasn't there. He had guys leave. That happened. Then he gets fired for losing to a team that was favored over him, which was the Celtics last year. It seems like he's always responsible. It's just strange coming from JJ. And I have some love for JJ. You're my dookie. You know that. You're my bro. I love you. It's just your best years were with the Clippers. I don't think he saved your career. I appreciate you, Pat. But I don't think this just seems a little bit weird. They're 3-7. Dame has missed most of those games. Middleton's missed a lot of those games. They haven't even had their full team yet. We'll see what happens. The pressure is there. They do have to perform. But in terms of accountability, like, what are we doing here? Your best years in the NBA were when you played for him in the Clippers. Let's not forget that. I don't know if there's frustration there or there's tension there between you. I know a lot of times we had to sit you towards the end of the game due to defensive reasons, but you had your best years as a starter there, especially our whole system was drafted around you because you're a shooter. You're not a guy who could put the ball on the floor. You were a strictly shoot guy. You're not like Klay Thompson or Steph who could put the ball on the floor. You were a guy who could catch and shoot, and you did it at a high level. Hell of a career, by the way. Big fan. But your best years were under him. It's just very ironic and kind of weird that you have this energy towards him in terms of him never, ever being accountable, considering he's always been responsible. That would be my response.
All right, so, hey, JJ got his off.
That energy, man.
What's up with it, man?
I don't know if he has to talk like that. I think no matter what, you can smell the idea of he's trying to nail one, man. He's trying to get a hot take. He's trying to get it off. He might really feel this way, but the delivery.
Yeah. Smacking the pen down, all that extra stuff, yeah.
Why are you so frustrated with Doc, bro?
I don't know what's up with him. But Austin, wait to come to the rescue for Daddy. Way to pull up. That's what you do. If he's playing with you, you do that. And you let him know. Mm-hmm. He didn't save your career. We can remind you what it was in Orlando. We can remind you now.
Wasn't that?
Mm-hmm. Did you play the end of them games? No, you did not. Because you can't defend. Okay?
Or create off the dribble.
You can't create off the dribble. You got to come off a pin down. You need your floppy.
Sneaky shots.
You need your elevator.
Sneaky shots.
We know. We get it.
But look,
we can play, though.
I feel Austin, too, because he's been under some slight shots been sent his way for no reason.
Yeah, Captain Jack went on him a couple weeks ago.
What's that about? So I'm sure he's a little bit on edge, and now he's like, y'all coming for Pop?
What?
You gonna tell me that Pops is not accountable? All right, his response was not that Pops is the greatest coach.
No.
It was not that.
Mm-mm.
It was that he has done his time.
Yes.
All right. When he failed, he was charged and convicted and fired, spoken bad about, talked down about. He's always the topic of discussion. I am the king of it. When Doc fails, I'll let you know. And that's because we have high expectations for Doc.
Yeah.
All right. We expect him to be right there with the P's. All right. With the Phil Pop Pat. He's right underneath them. So we treat him like that. And I think that Austin did a great job of reminding the people that that's what's going on. We're talking about pulling hairs because we're talking about one of the greater coaches in our game. Now, things have changed. He might be struggling now. But there's no reason to talk about Doc with such energy, JJ. It's weird.
Weird, man. Weird. But then we got to move on, man. Still out there out west. Some of them folks there in Denver. Melo, George Karl, some of the originals. Whew. Melo made one low comment about 20 years ago. And he found disrespectful. George doubled back the tweet, talking that Cash Money noise. Then doubled back the next day with a happy birthday tweet to Joker. And then comes back saying the best nugget ever.
Best 15 ever.
The best 15 ever, excuse me. What is up with George Karl, man? Let me tell you this, George. If you have a wife, she should take your phone. Like, that's what she used to do. If you have a wife, Mr. Karl, she used to delete X off your phone now. She used to delete Instagram off your phone. All social media needs to be off your phone. You need to pray. You need to take your vitamins. You need to pray.
72, bro.
Because whatever you got going, no. Cut it out. Like, you just sound like you are hurt. You sound like you just cranky.
Why are you so in the mix? Who alerted you? Who let you know that Melo even said that story? Why are you watching 7 p.m. in Brooklyn? If you feel this way about this man, why are you watching this programming with Mero? And why are you so quick to respond, sir?
Every time.
I don't know what you got going on, George, but I'm not feeling it. And I'm trying to look. I guess I must applaud you because 70 plus operating the way you are on the Twitter.
You can still using the telephone like that?
You doing it, bro. You doing it, sir.
Come on, man.
You're on to something right there.
Emojis
sir.
and all that?
You're on to something with that, though,
Come on
sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
George, go ahead with that BS. Leave Melo alone.
No, stand down.
Come on, man. Melo's trying to build like the second half of his life.
Stand down. This is his second
You know
half
what I
of
mean?
his career.
Like let that man be.
And that's the thing. People try to do that. Like, at the end of the day, this is a part of his story. Like, Melo's earned all of this. To be able to recount these stories and talk these tales. And you can't go back and alter anything that happened or how it experienced. When you said it, you might have felt like that was the take of the year. He's deadlift shrimp.
Right.
But you were wrong.
You're completely wrong.
You were wrong. And now you got to sit in that. Now he earned that, the right to bask in the fact that you were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's allowed to talk down on the naysayers. And if you're one of the naysayers, that's something that you just got to eat.
I'm going to let you know.
You just got to eat that.
I ain't mad at that at all, man. So, we're moving on to the end of the All-Star Week. We had All-Star Weekend. The players got their breaks. All is well, you know what I mean? We're getting ready to get back to basketball Thursday. Hooping.
Cannot wait.
Back in.
Dry.
All games going on. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it, man. Who is the best team moving in? Who are the 2, 3, whatever teams you got moving into the back end of the season? Who you got?
Are we talking trends? Or are we talking like?
Trent, who do you think is going to be the best team going into the back end of the season,
All right.
and why? Who do you think?
All right. First of all, just the best team.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta stay home and say that Minnesota's the best team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got everything you need. I think that usually I think that what we're seeing is a little bizarro from Edwards, right? In the sense that I think that we all expected to see this like standout breakout year from him, where he goes off and he scores this, absorbent amount of points, and he has a lot of these freakish scoring nights. But I think we're all seeing it wrong. He skipped that step.
Okay.
And went to the evolved, polished stage where you have the controlled numbers after you have the breakout season.
Okay.
And you begin to win.
Okay.
I think that's what's happening. I think Edwards has skipped a step. And it's weird to us because we missed it and all the, all the highlights that you get from that season, right? But I think that this team is poised to move forward. I think the pieces fall in place. I got McDaniels, Gobert. I think even Cat's trying to figure out actually what his role is. I think Cat's like, oh, I like this. I'm Robin.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cat's finding a space there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think they're the best team.
I got you. I got another team as best team.
Okay.
That's Boston. Boston is the best team in the NBA.
Okay.
Overall record, they're 4 games ahead of Minnesota, 6 ahead of Cleveland in their own Eastern Conference. They're going to coast to number 1 seed in the East.
Surely are.
No health issues.
None of
Keep
that.
knocking on wood. They balling. Everyone understands their role. Tatum, Brown, Zinger, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's like 5th option at this point. Derek White, Venger.
They're loaded.
Loaded. Then you got Horford. Then you got who? Hauser, Cornette, Pritchard. These guys all play. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, it sounds like no one, but these guys are all in rotation.
But I don't know if I like that, though.
Why?
It's too many people in rotation.
But they're like valuable. They all have. They all got a piece. It's not like guys stacked on top of each other.
Piece of real estate.
Everybody got a little piece of the pie in there. Everybody. And my next team that's trending up, I've been with them all year. The Warriors. Come on. I said it. I told you. Beware. Beware. It didn't happen how he wanted it to happen, Clay. It didn't happen how he wanted it to happen. They took you there. They put you in a place you've never been. The bench. But how did you respond? As Clay would. 35. Triples. A lot of them. The Warriors in the last 10. 7-3. Clay is Clay. Steph is Steph. Draymond is back and got the Warriors back up. Kuminga has found a role to be the clear second option in the starting unit. Ooh-wee. What's his name? Pajemski? What's his name? Lefty? Just wake up, Wiggins. Just act like you know how to play the game again.
As long as he's sleeping, they're still sleeping.
Act like you know how to play the game again. Warriors are trending up. That is a scary team. You do not want to see them. And I'm telling you now, Lake Show, you might want to get out of 9th place for that playing game. Because the Warriors are on the way. Beware.
The Lakers fear no Golden State. The Lakers are poised to defeat Golden State like they did last year. The Lakers are poised to defeat Minnesota like they did last year.
Okay.
They don't fear any of those teams.
Right.
That's from Lakers' perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, getting back to I got taken off topic with so much Golden State talk. But trending upward. I like Indiana. I like what they got going on in the East.
They're figuring things out.
I think Halliburton is going to be motivated after All-Star Weekend. I think this is one of those things that juices him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's a confident guy, and he's looking for his stripes in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he appreciates every stripe as he gathers them. He carries a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's got a lot to prove. I think Milwaukee doesn't want to play. I think we talked about that earlier. Milwaukee does not want to play the Indiana Pacers in a series 3-6. They don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not interested in that.
No, not with them.
Not with Pascal. Not with Pascal again coming here now, figuring out there's a whole nother guy. He might not be the guy, but there's another guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's not alone out there. All right. There's just more space for the other shooters to get their shots off. With the Buddy Hield departure, it just looks like something that's going up. Not to mention the teams above them. I just feel like transitioning into teams on the way down. You got the Bucks. They're struggling in a way that can be understood. I think what's interesting about what I saw when I was looking at the standings, right? Their point differential is the lowest of any of the teams in the top 5. That's weird to me.
Can't play no D.
It's weird to me. You're winning more than teams that have higher point differentials than you. I don't know. I think that there's something to say about that, or there's something that will come of that. They're struggling to defend.
Can't play no D.
Hopefully for them, Dame can get hot. Take this motivation and this momentum from the All-Star break, but I just don't see it. I see New York, Indiana mainly, but New York as well, also improving and moving them out the way.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. Milwaukee's struggling. Milwaukee's struggling. 5-5. Excuse me, Denver. I got Denver as my team that's out there dropping down. 5-5 in last 10. Lost the last 3, to be exact. I do believe they bounced back with the Wizards. So they should be all right getting back in the win column. But something just not right. Something just isn't right.
It's off.
I don't want to necessarily call it a championship hangover, but it ain't right. They're missing Bruce Brown. They're missing Jeff Green. They're trying to put Christian Brown in that role. It's just not hitting the same. It ain't right. Denver, I think people are coming for that spot. If they're 4 and Phoenix stays 5, that is a first round matchup that everyone is waiting for. And as Phoenix is getting hot, they figuring it out. Eric Gordon's out there stepping up, helping them out and balling. They found a way to try to insert Bol in those spurts here to help them out and gain some experience and balling. I like them. But my next team is the Knicks.
Ooh.
Sliding. The injury bug has struck them. 5-5 in the last 10. OG out for at least 2 more weeks, maybe 3, after elbow surgery. Julius Randle out another 3 weeks. And then they have the Sixers in Boston coming right out after the break. I mean, that is, it's tight.
That sounds tight.
It's tight. Those are my teams there. Denver and the Knicks, who are falling right now. Am I saying they're going to fall to the playoffs? Not necessarily. I do think the Knicks have some time, a couple weeks. I think they can steal some wins as well by the time they get OG and Julius back. I think they'll still be in the playoffs. Hopefully they wouldn't have fallen too far down by then in the next 3 weeks. But I still think they'd be straight in contention. What you got?
I still got I had said this actually at I think maybe the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Sacramento's still just on the way out.
They falling out too. What are they in right now? 6th place,
They're
7th?
in 6th.
6.
No, actually, I'm sorry. They're in 8th now.
They're in 8th. Wow.
They're in 8th now, and I just don't really feel the vibe. I don't feel like they've gotten any better. I think they're still having a lot of fun out there. We're seeing a lot of points. I don't think they figured out what they need to do defensively.
Who they are.
Right? They don't know they don't even know how they're gonna approach the game defensively. It's just
Right.
It's just whatever happens out there.
Right.
And I think that's hurting them. I think that we'll see that down the stretch. That pushes them out with those hungry old guys. They're ready for the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm. They know what this time is
The
about.
Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
the Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
they're on the rise down there at the
Mhm.
bottom of the bottom of the pits there.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas is definitely going to be on the way up. Those moves, I think, solidified that roster.
I think so as well.
So I think it's tight. I think they can hope for New Orleans to maybe fall down there, right? But I think it's tight for Sacramento having a spot in that playoffs down there. I thought Houston was going to give us a little bit more.
You try. They try.
I thought Houston was going to give a little bit more, and I thought I just know Utah's going to always compete.
They're gonna stick around. Yeah.
So I think it's tight on Sacramento, honestly.
Yeah. Is it telling anybody in the East falling out?
It's tight. Falling out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. I'm scared for maybe Philly falling a little
Okay, yeah.
too far.
Because who knows when Joel comes back, right?
I don't think Joel's coming back.
Yeah.
And I think that
I wouldn't rush back if I'm him neither.
I wouldn't rush back if them. And unfortunately, I think if Philly's any smart, they'll shut this whole thing down
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
I don't just mean Joel. I mean the whole thing,
The whole play.
the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford for certain people to continue to excel at the levels that they are.
Mhm.
And I mean literally can't
Mhm.
afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they'll figure out something to slow this thing down.
Yeah.
They already traded in some shots. I don't think that was a coincidence. So they're like, yo, come shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Come get the ball out of little Maxi's hands because he can't just go for 40 every night.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they'll figure out how to shut that down, and I think that's the mashup for a big skid, second half of the season.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that, my guy. I hear that. You got any final words before we get up out of here?
Austin, it's time, baby. Talking to you all year. Let's go. Second half with the big dogs. It's big time now. Step up, bro.
NBA, hear me out. Team dunk contest. 4 guys, captains. They're able to draft 2 dunkers, 2 influencers from the YouTube, from Instagram, wherever.
That's hard.
You bring them in. All right. You got 2 or 3 rounds. Round number 1 is the individual dunk. Average out the scores. All right. Round number 2 is a team dunk. You've got to include 2 of the 3 team members on the dunk, on the attempt.
Like standing, whatever.
Standing, alley-oop,
jump off,
whatever.
Okay.
Something. Boom. Then we vote 2 rounds. Then we vote. Done. Different twist. Do something. Help Saturday night. That will make Saturday night perfect. Please bring back the All-Star game.
Stop using the judges that I don't know.
Oh my
Like,
God.
just leave them. Like, no disrespect to you guys. I show you with the thing in your day and whatnot. But bro, I just don't trust you to judge what's going on. Jalen got second.
Hey man, please make sure that y'all follow us on all social media networks. Instagram, check out one on one. On YouTube, Won't Be Too Long podcast. Check us on the season note. Check out One on One season 1. Make sure that y'all please, man, like, y'all comment, y'all subscribe. We up out of here, man. We out.